Very pleased today to be joined by Anna Mowat, who is a parent advisor with the All Right campaign and runs the Sparklers campaign, which is an offshoot of that. Anna, can I just start by asking you to remind us about the All Right campaign and what that is?
So the All Right campaign is a wellbeing campaign which began here in Christchurch post-quake, looking at ways that we could support people to look after their own mental health and wellbeing, because that's one of the things that we don't focus on when we're under stress.
And so what's the story with Sparklers?
Sparklers is a school-based resource. It was created for use inside of the classroom. But since our bubble time, we've also created Sparklers at home, which means that parents and whānau can access the same sorts of activities, fun activities that they would do in the classroom, but we've adapted them for use in the living room or on the lawn. Yeah, it's a tough time of year for many whānau, and part of that too is our children at the moment are kind of primed to behave in a way that is difficult for us to manage. And the reason for that is they're seeing lots of, they're seeing lots of decorations everywhere. They're seeing lots of toys at their level. And so basically they're only reacting to their environment. So I guess it's kind of like, go easy on them. This is kind of not their fault. But also I think too is being aware of our stresses in it, what's up for us. So if you go to Sparklers at Home, then that will show you a bunch of activities that you can do at home with your children. When it comes to Sparklers at Home, what we notice is that parents love anything that helps them to support their children with emotional regulation. And I say that because that's also true of me as a parent. And so there's one called Sliding Emotions, where it talks parents through going to the local park and spending some time climbing up the ladder and then sliding down the slide and talking through that like you would big emotions. So you could talk through that like in terms of anger. So irritation might turn to annoyance, which turns to anger, which turns to rage. And then we can move, and then going down the slide is about letting that go and what we need to do in order to be able to manage that and putting some stuff into place. There's also, of course, tummy breathing, which, and I always say that we don't do enough talk and enough work around breathing properly, because we know that when we do so, it just naturally regulates our emotion and helps us to calm down. So there's some fun ways to do that, including making an origami boat, and you put it onto your tummy and then you see it wobble around and bob around. And that means that we know that you're breathing from the right place. And it's just, again, it's a teaching exercise in order to ensure that you're hitting your vagus nerve and calming your brain. And it's also filtered. So that means that you can choose the activities that best suit your whānau or your children, or what you're interested in or what they're interested in. So there is managing big emotions. There's also feeling good. So it's something that can lift our mood. And there's also kaupapa Māori, because we know that being able to celebrate our culture and knowing who we are, knowing something about ourselves, is also really good for us. There's also stuff there for parents. So there's specific information on how to manage big emotions. There's also stuff in there on how to encourage our children to be grateful and kind, and the difference that makes as well. There's also some information in there on how to explain redundancy, because we know that that's impacting whānau at the moment, and why we should wear a mask, for example, because that's a requirement in some places as well. The other thing I was going to say with regard to this time of year, if you're looking for something to do with your child that will help them grasp the idea that Christmas isn't all about them, because that's quite hard, We do have a kindness advent calendar that we just put up this week. And so there's 24 days in there, it might be 22 at the moment, where you as a whānau can go and do something tiny and kind every day to lift your mood and emotions and think outside of ourselves as well. So yeah, I hope that helps too.
That's brilliant. What a great idea, and what a fantastic resource, and a really good way of just focusing on the countdown without it all being that anticipation of presents and me. That's wonderful. That's a really great initiative. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for your time today, and also for everything that you guys are doing.
Oh, you're really welcome. Thanks for thinking of us. And if there's any ideas that you have for us and you want us to pick them up, we'd be really happy to do that. We know that Sparks at Home is a collaborative process. We're only responding to what parents and teachers tell us would be useful.